Sup, it's your boy Big Reg coming to you once again from the shadow of the big house. It's been a while, folks. It has been a long time. We've been out about traveling all over the world, but we're back in action. Um, Unfortunately, though, back to yet another Michigan defeat. This time at the hands of the USC Trojans. Man, oh man, Michigan looked horrible. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all for anybody. Um, but hey, joining me tonight to talk about all the trials and tribulations of being a Michigan fan. First, as always, producer Jay Bill.
I'm ready for basketball. Ranked number
This guy.
7 preseason. Love it.
Holy smolies. Shout out to Coach Dusty May. Next, joining us, this gentleman, look at him cheeks. He's puffed up cheeks. He's ready to explode with some frustrations and anger. The one, the only nameless guest.
No, more like just need some therapy, need some comfort. We need to just, I realize it's healthy to just get it out so we can resume our fandom.
There you go. You know what? That's a good point. It is healthy to vent and to share these things. Not keep them bottled up inside and fester. That's a good word. Don't let it fester. And finally, here is the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
Yeah, I'm ready to vent. This is gonna be the biggest vent session,
Wow.
and I'm glad that producer JB brought up basketball because yet again we're overrated in basketball as well.
Oh, wow.
But let's get on with this vent session.
Wow. See, that is the true talent of Mr. Squarehead. He can shoot his shots in any direction at any given time. You know what I'm saying? He's like a porcupine 360. He's like the 360 stage of a Twice concert. Oh, all the hits are going out in any direction at any given moment. Gotta love it. Anywho, gentlemen, the floor is yours. I transfer it to you. I'll just say this: watching that USC game was painful for me. Painful for me, just because of the frustrations on so many levels. Execution was horrible on defense, missed tackles, et cetera, et cetera. Same old problems of third and long. Letting opponents, it'd be like third and infinity, and somehow, we let opponents convert. Those are my two biggest things. My two biggest things that just made me go, you had him. Third and whatever it was, like 23. Just get off the field. One more play, just get off the field. Couldn't do it yet again. And it really was a big turning point in the game. But now, floor is yours. Go ahead and vent away.
Wow. Big Reg didn't even do a synopsis of the game.
I just did. I just did. All you needed to know was we played like crap. We played like crap,
It
especially in the
was
key moments. Third and 20 something. Come on, just get the job done and get off the field.
final score was 31-13. I mean, we were in this game, even though like yardage wise, we weren't in this game. Uh
First half, we were still in the game. And like I said, until that third and whatever the heck we were definitely in that game. We were definitely in that game in that third and whatever it was.
Come
and
on, man! You guys say the same thing for the OU game. This game was not even close.
It eventually was not even
31-13.
close.
31-13 wasn't even indicative of how this game should
It
have ended.
wasn't.
And you guys said the same thing for the OU game. Oh, we were in the game. It was close. This game was not close, man. Come on.
What?
Yeah, I disagree with that. But I will say though, like just seeing pure yardage just being eaten away at this defense, it brought like another level of disappointment that I didn't know I had.
Mm.
Because we have been I guess just fortunate to have a strong defense these last 4 prior years, and then this year has just turned into constant exposure. Um, Give it up for Lincoln Riley. I mean, he just picked us
No,
apart. He was just calling plays like it was just easy. He was like, yeah, third and long, no problem. We'll just do this one. It'll get us like 25 yards. And I mean, there's like no pressure whatsoever. We can maybe pressure the CMU team, but we can't pressure USC. We can't pressure any others. Dare I say it, like our next game, Washington will expose us again. And
Holy
my disdain
smokes.
for Wink has now reached critical level because the master of whatever defensive scheme that he tutored, quote, these our previous two defensive coordinators on, he clearly has been surpassed by his pupils because this guy is like, I don't know what he's doing. Like he's talking into the mic, but I don't know if he's like asking like, hey, what defense should we call this time? Or anything like that. It's just a sham. It's a sham of a defense. I don't even know what defense it is. It's
All
like,
right, all right, all right. Come on, we got to cut you over. You going? You vented too much. You vented too much. This guy, holy smolies. We time
I,
out.
I
Holy
could keep
smokes.
going.
Next
I could
man
keep
up.
going. Let next man up.
Next man up. Holy smokes. This guy just almost went crazy there.
I'll just quickly say one of the reasons I initially don't have as much to say is because this was so painful. I've just been blocking. I'm not saying I'm like repressing. Normally when I
You're
watch these,
repressing. You're repressing.
oh, but like I'll watch them and rewatch, and I'll just keep re. I mean, I just like engross myself in all the after materials.
Mm.
But this is like
Nothing
I
else.
was like I was with Square. I was like checked out in that second half. I mean, I'm watching, but I don't want to watch to the bitter end, and I just cut myself off from Michigan content because it was hurt too much. I cut
Mm.
my usual routines. I didn't plug myself in to hear all the breakdowns. I like mercifully, I'm kind of forgetting some stuff because that was I'm a professional guarder of the heart, so I was prepared for this loss. No, I mean I pegged it from the preseason. We're losing these away games. The Sooners, USC was a little unsure about Nebraska, the easiest of the bunch. We pulled that off. And then, the juggernaut in the game, probability, statistically speaking, who knows? We do have a shot, but that's likely the 9-3 ceiling that we were looking at from the beginning. But this being an embarrassment, an emasculation, ugh, still can't get over this one. This one, no bueno. We'll get into coaching and culture and identity and whatever in a minute, but that's just initial.
Wow, he already wants to go into the CCIs in a few minutes, but all right, we'll hold off for now. Now this next man, holy smoly, he's finally joined us. I don't know how but he was locked in a secret bunker somewhere. Um, he just came back from a mission to Columbus, Ohio, to do some advanced scouting. It's the one, the only JC from Sunnyside.
I was in the heart of enemy territory,
Mm,
in the heart of Columbus.
mm.
They had the BYU game on at the Ohio State bar on campus. And I was like, you know what? I want to ask the hostess to put on the Michigan game, but I couldn't. So I asked another parent to go say, hey, can you ask them to put on the Michigan game? And he was also reluctant. He had no idea about this rivalry, but he did it for me and they put it on. And then I took off my shirt and I was ready. But the big block M, getting harassed. And then I was excited because we scored that touchdown.
Mm.
I thought, hey, we're going to have the momentum going into the half. Finished my dinner. And then they scored that touchdown right before half. I was livid. And I said, I can't, because I think I knew how this game was going to go. So I said, you know what? Halftime, I said, took my daughter. I said, hey, we got to go back to the hotel room. And we left. And glad I did, because the ridicule that I would have gotten after this game from all of Ohio State land, ugh, it was brutal, but I will say this. I think I was extra emotional after the game, because of like how we lost that game. How Sharon Moore just was pathetic. Going for two? What are you doing?
Oh God.
What are you doing going for two?
Wow. The
Just
CC like
you just connect the dots from previous games, like just poor use of timeouts, unuse of timeouts. It's just one after the other, and I question more. But you know what? It's a tough environment to play in. We're going to the West Coast.
Mm.
Going into the season, even though I am hopeful for 11-1 CFP, I think realistically 9-3 would be a good season. And I think we're still there at a 9-3 season with the chance of going 10-2 and being in the CFP conversation at the end.
Come on, man.
Dude,
No, come on. You've got to be kidding me. This game was a vindication for me. Come on. Dude, I'm speechless. Speechless. This game was a complete oh my God. Producer JB said it. This team is a sham. This team from top to bottom, the whole team is a sham. You guys thought Bryce Underwood was the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. He's the biggest bust. Don't give me this. He's only 18 years old, true freshman. There have been freshmen who won Heisman, who won national championships.
There hasn't been a freshman that's won a Heisman Trophy. This guy. Nice making a
Wait,
facts.
there has been freshmen who've won Heisman trophies.
Who? Name one true freshman that's won the Heisman Trophy.
Johnny Manziel.
He was a sophomore. This guy.
He was okay. Maybe it was a red shirt. But anyways,
This guy.
dude,
He's
you
right.
guys,
Johnny Manziel and Jameis Winston won the Heisman Trophy both their redshirt freshman years, but they were redshirt.
Red shirt.
fine. Trevor Lawrence. Look up Trevor Lawrence.
he didn't even start until the fifth game of his freshman year.
You think if Bryce Underwood started the fifth game, he would lead us to a national champ? Come on, man. From top to bottom, I've been saying it all season. Wink, Sharon, Bryce Underwood, they're all overrated and they all need to be fired. Bryce Underwood needs to be benched. He cannot throw a ball under 100 miles per hour, regardless of where the receiver is. Prove me wrong.
What's crazy is that there's so much wrong with this team, so much, and coaching, players, whatever. But it ain't the two 18-year-olds, Bryce and Marsh. Like the only things good about this team. Plus,
no, dude, I don't.
Justice Hayes.
They might have raw talent, but then the coaching is bad.
Yeah.
The coaching is bad. The play calling is bad. Everything is bad about this. I mean, fine. You want to say Bryce Underwood has the athletic ability, the arm, whatever it is. This guy cannot read a defense pre-snap. Come on, man.
Come on.
He's got to be the dumbest quarterback that's ever come through Michigan.
What are you talking about?
That's false.
this has gone to silly sauce.
I know, it's crazy talk. It is crazy.
Here.
He does bring up I think the point that we've had on our text thread especially is that, man, like this coaching of the team from week to week has been like horrible. It's like horrible. Like there's nothing consistently growing from this week to week progression. And that scares me. That scares me a lot because it's not like, for example, like the head coach, for example, like it's not like he's new to our program. He's been within the walls. He's been the offensive coordinator. He should know what progression looks like. And if you're telling me that offensive line has progressed, and okay, we had some injuries in there, and then finally we had Giovanni Aladad back in, who totally whiffed his position as well. Like the development of an offensive line is getting exposed dramatically. Every week it's getting exposed.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
To the fact that like we kind of talked about this too. Like Newsom, what is going on? Like there's no progression. There's no progression. So like from there it cascades, I think all the media pundits are saying, it's not just one thing, it's multiple things that are happening that might affect it. I mean, have we ever won on a West Coast trip for any of our games? Hardly ever. Hardly ever. For some reason, our coaching does not prepare us to go travel west. I don't know why, but it that's not like any different. But like to say and like, oh, Sharon, we're gonna go a day earlier because we're changing up the things, we're gonna be more acclimated to where, and then it results in that, like that's a sham. That's like you did nothing different. You probably didn't change anything. You just went a day earlier and you came up with that kind of nonsense. So that
Holy
part of is
moly.
like
Wow.
really, really, really like disconcerting. Dare I say it? I think he's on the hot seat for fandom. I don't think any of the other people are gonna say like he's gonna get fired anytime soon. But come on, like every single Michigan fan knows that you see the product on the field and it's nothing that's progressing. If we were scrappy, if we were physical and we were like still losing to speed USC like we did back in the day with like Reggie Bush and all them, fine. That's okay. We don't have the speed, we don't have the talent, whatever. But to miss tackles, to not block, to still not catch the ball, like these are fundamental things that are getting exposed consistently and constantly, and it's annoying. It's literally annoying.
So I hear Sharon Moore. I don't know if he's in the hot seat yet, but he's got to do better. I mean, enough of the rhetoric, enough of the me a dog, you a dog, we a dog, two claps on a Ric Flair, that kind of. All right, it's catchy, but we need to see some progression in the trenches because if I think about this game, we lost the trenches on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. And against USC, that was demoralizing to watch. Um, and last year we had Graham, we had two dudes stack in the middle. This year, I don't know what's happened to Rashawn Benny. He was supposed to be a top 10 defensive tackle in college football.
Oof.
Where is he? Where is he? Derek Moore, like occasional like impact here and there. Thank goodness we have Jay Sean Barham, who's a player. But outside of that, like our defensive line is just not getting the push.
Front seven. Yeah.
And if we're not getting the push, our secondary is not good enough to keep up with the receivers. So that was the game for me. The defensive line not getting push, him having all the time in the world to throw. We couldn't stop the run, just chunks and chunks. Ernest Hausman, where are you? You're still reading and watching videotape for like 24 hours. But what are you watching?
This guy, holy
What
smoke.
are you watching? I'm disappointed in the front seven. The offensive line, I think I knew that, you know what, we didn't know what we were going to get. The D line was supposed to be our bread and butter, right? Applying pressure, causing havoc. And yeah, our secondary is being exposed because the D line can't get the push that it needs to do.
Ugh.
I want to expound on producer JB's indictment of the head coaching. I I feel very conflicted on Sharon because in the long term, I do feel like we got to ride it out. And so as the young pups and studs on the O line, I mean, we do need a new O line coach, and I think that's the next move coming. I really do. He was to Sharon's credit, he's done a couple good things, but mostly not very many good things. He cut loose. What's our old OCs? I mean, we got Chip, but the other dude who was an abject failure. That was a quick firing, and that was much needed. The next quick replacement needs to be Grant Newsom, and that's his boy, and he's been the poster child for what? But 30 under 30, whatever all those accolades from the young up and come. No, that's all out the window. He's been exposed. He just downright sucks. I never would have even been saying our weak link isn't even the wide receiver room. It's the freaking O-line and it's not even close. The O-line is 진짜 sucks. That's why we are so down, like in terms of like questioning our own program, like program level. Like I'm not this close away from like PSU meltdown, but it's like this team I expected to lose. I didn't expect to be embarrassed and just demoralized. I thought, okay, we would lose by a score, okay, and move on and run the table and make it a game in the game. That's what I honestly expected. And I still think our D line's okay, but they're certainly not elite. We will do fine. Those boys will do fine against mediocre competition. They're not going to travel well to the West Coast versus USC and dominate, okay? And they will do fine probably against undersized linemen like the Huskies. Okay, next week, the Lions I think will perform okay. I don't know if we win because they've got they've got players, they've got playmakers, but it won't be because the Lions just their pants taken down again. I think our Lions will do okay against a middling trench team like the Washington Huskies. But the O-line, man, uh, do you remember last season? How many games did they take to figure out who the center was going to be? Then the next guy, then they rotate to the next guy, and then how long did it take for them to figure out um, which running back to give it to? How many wasted carries went to the Don? I mean, he was
Oh,
the game. No, I mean like they
Ugh.
couldn't figure out that they had nobody at quarterback in last year's offseason. This coaching staff takes a long time to figure out stuff. And like this is the same coaching staff that saw fit to put Channing in as a starter, and they figure it out in game 4 after leading the whole league in drops. And
Yeah.
Samaj is still getting a bunch of targets. If you ask Devin Gardner, he says every single snap should go to Marsh. Listen to him. Listen to Butt and Devin. He's harsher than us.
1000%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they sometimes loyalty trumps performance.
Hmm.
They're too loyal. Like I think Donovan Edwards is a perfect example. You know, being realistic, Mullings was clearly the better back. Clearly, right? But still, Donald's getting carries, getting tripped up in the backfield, getting tripped. Give it to Mullings. Same thing this year. Samaj has been butterfingers. Can't do anything with the ball in his hands. Marsh, I'm sure they've seen in camps how dynamic he could be, right? So he should have been starting much earlier or getting playtime much earlier. Even the other guy, I think Browder, right? He's been doing work in camp and during practice. Get him in there. Why are you putting Samaj? Because he's a loose cannon? Like, come on, dude. Like just you gotta say, hey, these are the guys that are performing. These are the guys that need to play and be on the field.
Man, oh man, these guys, everybody's just unloading on everything at once.
Uh,
Holy smokes.
we needed to vent for so many days and just
Good
bottled it up.
gravy.
Gotta come out.
Golly, listen. I'm not gonna repeat everything except for one point. Except for one point. My biggest disappointment has to be, out of all the things that you guys have said, the one thing is offensive line play. For a head coach who used to be an offensive line coach, who used to coach and develop off Joe Moore winning lines, it is shocking to me how bad our offensive line is, how inconsistent it is, how many missed assignments that we have when you're watching. Um, you know, just mistakes that are made on the offensive line play, one. And then number two, just like last season, the lack of development, the lack of improvement. We really didn't see any improvement until I think I'll say the bowl game against Alabama, you know? So it's shocking to me now, 2 years in a row, the offensive line play from week 1 to week 5, a straight line at best, kind of tilts more realistically. You know what I mean? So that to me is the biggest disappointment. We have to control the line of scrimmage in order to let the playmakers make plays. We finally are seeing three playmakers on our team. Bryce Underwood. You can't deny. You can't deny that the young man is a dynamic playmaker.
Yeah. There were some
Hold
throws
on,
that he
man.
made, which is incredible.
What
Just
Yes, he missed some
throws
throws,
that are
overthrows,
made?
underthrows, etc. But he
I
is a
told you.
dynamic
Oh,
playmaker. Come on, he is a dynamic
dude.
playmaker.
I told you guys during the game, those wide receivers are bailing out the quarterback, man.
Stop it!
Those
Stop
throws,
it!
he just throws in
Stop
the
it!
direction, and the
No,
wide
no,
receiver
no,
makes a
no.
great catch.
Stop it!
Oh, that's what they should be doing if
They
they're
should
playing.
be catching the ball. Yes, good point. Good point. They're a wide receiver. Catch the ball. Okay.
Yeah.
So number one, we have a dynamic playmaker in Bryce Underwood. We have another dynamic playmaker in Marsh, and we have a third dynamic playmaker in Justice Haynes. So we have the skill position finally, finally, after so many seasons of yearning for dynamic playmaking at all three of those spots, and we finally have it again.
and Marlon Klein. Don't forget Marlon Klein.
Oh,
Not involved. Not
Marlon
until
Klein,
he
holy
starts.
smokes. This guy's holy. He's another drop off. I mean, okay, he got injured, but where is this guy? Where is this guy? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think he had one catch this last game. He was supposed to be the next Colston Loveland, the farm boy from the middle of nowhere in Germany, and all of a sudden becomes a superstar. No, it has not happened. So again, the offensive line horrible, but we have these playmakers and they're all being let down. They're being let down. Let's be quite honest. And it's so frustrating right now that we can't seem to get all the parts together meshing. We can't get that mesh. And it's all just jumbled and weak. And it's
It's
just
yeah, it's
second year in a row
ironic.
now. Second year in a row.
It's ironic that what USC did to us offensively is what we should have done as well. Like we should have had the short routes, we should have had like the screens, the
Quick
halfback
outs.
screens. Like we didn't do like we talked about this after Nebraska. We talked about this after CMU of like why you keep doing wide receiver screens when you could do a running back screen. And but it's the whole point. Like the offensive line sucks, so you can't really do that kind of screen. Uh, and like it was just systematic how Lincoln Riley, just picked us apart, and like all our DBs were too scared. They're playing like 15 yards off the ball, and you're like, what the like? Okay, you're playing a zone, but you're playing like a really, really deep zone, and they're just dumping the ball off, and then these guys run for another 15 yards when after they catch the ball. So it's and every time like Wink tried to bring pressure, Lincoln Riley just threw it over that guy who was rushing in, and someone was there to catch. Like it was dramatically obvious that Lincoln Riley was picking on Wink, and he was just taking every tendency that he had and was using it against him. And Wink didn't even change. It didn't change at all during the game. We used to be a second half defensive team. Anaconda squeeze. It's not an anaconda anymore, and there's no squeezing. It's just like an enema.
Oh,
It's like keep keep scoring on us more. Like there's nothing we can fix about it. Uh
what's man? I don't want to have to single out people, but what's his name? Number 6. Nah, I'm having brain freeze on defense.
Brandon Hillman.
Hillman.
Hellman.
B. Hillman.
Gosh. This kid, man, I'm telling you, I just wish there's just some days where some plays you like,
He had one good
"Hmm."
play, didn't he?
No, that's what I'm saying. But then there's so many more where you're like, what kind of boneheaded thing are we doing out here? Whether it's a missed assignment, bad angle, or a horrible penalty, you know, it's just he's another indicator of lack of improvement throughout the season. It's clear that the young man has talent. It's clear that the young man has ability, like the physical and mental attributes to make plays. But the fact that he still can't do it consistently, or at the very least, not make egregious mistakes. Now
Wow,
that we're in what were we in week 6 of the season?
you're going down the hill now. All of
No,
a
but
sudden.
that for me is just another indicator of why are the same. silliness still happening.
It's coaching. It's all coaching.
And that brings me to the next segment that we're going to start from now on. It's called More Questions. Oh, more questions. And my more question of the week is, why the hell are we going for two? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh,
He was, he was down 3 scores and he wanted an opportunity to win on the field goal.
oh God. That is the
Dude, I spent 37 hours and 42 minutes thinking about this after the game. There's zero reason to go for two there. There's zero. The only
zero
thing I can
upside.
think of, is Sharon Moore is dumber than Bryce Underwood.
Whoa.
That's the only thing I can think of. There's no reason in history of mankind to go for two at that moment. When you're down by 17, you just scored a touchdown. There's zero reason. If you guys can think of one reason, bring it
I
up.
can't.
Any reason at all.
I can't.
Like
I mean,
said,
statistically, you would say, okay, it could make sense because going for two, you're at a 50-50 chance.
Yes.
So if you make it on the first one, right? Now you're whatever, and then you could theoretically win with another touchdown and a field goal.
yes.
Statistically speaking. And then if you don't make it like we did, then you go for it again. But now that it's because it's a 50-50 probability, you would think that it happens on the second 2-point event.
I didn't have a problem with the 2-point.
No, but the horrible thing, the reason
You
why
didn't
that's
have a problem
horrible
with a
is
two-pointer there?
because the reason why that's a horrible way of thinking is because you're forgetting the fact that it's a small sample size, a sample size of 2, and you're counting on a 50-50 probability on a sample size of 2. And any statistician worth his salt will tell you that's stupid. It's 50-50 over a large number of samples.
You're losing anyways. What's the difference?
No, but
Yeah.
that's just an indicator of bad decisions. They're making bad decisions.
That's a small offset of something.
No, but
But it's
why go for
indicative.
two?
It's a reflection of this coaching staff. It's a reflection of Sharon Moore that we've seen time and time again.
More
Like poor
questions.
use of timeouts, poor game management. At that point, I was so glad I wasn't at the Ohio State bar anymore because the ridicule that I would have gotten when we were going for two. Like, what in the world are you doing?
It's
That
crazy.
does not make sense at all. It's just craziness. Like he just forgot how to do math. He's like, oh yeah, you know what? We'll be down 10 if we go for two.
I got another question in the more questions segment.
More questions.
More questions.
Okay, 2-parter question in the special teams department. Why punt when you got a punter who can't punt in the game? Because he apparently can punt in practice.
Yeah.
He can't punt in the games. And another one, why have Samaj or anyone for that matter drop back to receive punts if all you're going to do is just let every single ball drop and just pretend like you're fair catching 20 yards away? Why? It doesn't, I mean, it could be worse because Samaj has muffed. So yes, he could actually try and muff, and it actually has happened, and he is Butterfingers. And the last game, he caught, bobbled, and put it on the ground.
Yeah.
And then he recovered his own fumble. I mean, this guy is Butterfingers. Why is he back there still fielding punts? We may as well, and we've blocked one before. So it even begs the question, why not send another guy to rush the punt? I mean, we don't have that's a second coach on the super hot seat. Grant Newsom's got to be number 1. And
hot
JB
as
Brown,
well.
whatever. Oh my goodness. What is he doing to earn his keep? to wear the winged helmet? Get him out of here, man.
I mean,
Totally
even
useless.
Zavada missing those field goals because the long snapper is like screwing it up too. Like there's no consistency in that section.
And he coaches Bell to tip it up in the air to the next guy to recover the onside kick. Yeah, good one, guys. The special team performance is astounding. Wow.
It's all those little things that make you go, what the heck is going on? And like I said, it just leads to more and more and more questions.
My more question is how much is Moore's buyout?
Oh, wow. It's more than what we wanted to pay, that's for sure. Holy
No, it's
smokes.
not. I don't think it is.
You
It's
think it's pretty low? I don't
I
think it's
think it's
low.
like less than 10 mil.
Oh, some
Uh, but like
Wow.
you can see it in the NIL packages, you can see it in college football all around. There is a part of this where college football has changed, right? Whether for good or bad, it's changed. We see it with Franklin getting canned, even though he had a huge buyout. If you don't win, if you don't get into the CFP, if you're not relevant, you are gonna go. And so I think this should be very much a wake-up call for more because he no longer is in Harbaugh's shadows, even though he freaking went to Michigan of the West to do his like I can't even talk about that part, but
Oh,
the
that
whole
brings
thing
me
of
another
like
more question. Oh,
yeah, it's just another more question, but it's like uh this is your time to make your mark, right? If you're going to have a turnaround that's impactful, if you're going to be the Michigan head football coach instead of an assistant who got promoted to head football coach, you got to make your mark here and now. Like from here on out, if it didn't happen with the away game at USC, it's got to happen at home. It's got to happen all the way, obviously going to the game. But that's the part where I don't know if he can come out of the shadows. Like that's my question too. Are you going to be able to get out of the shadows of your Jim Harbaugh, your mentor, and be able to establish yourself? And I think if you look at history of assistants trying to match up to their mentors, doesn't really end well.
I mean, you look at Harbaugh's last college football stop before he went to the 49ers. Stanford Cardinals, they promoted David Shaw, and they had a lot of years of success under David Shaw. Um, I, I would have hoped for something along those lines, and maybe our expectations are too high in year two of the Sharon Moore regime. But again, I would feel more comfortable if we were playing well and we got defeated
Yes.
versus
Mhm.
having all these glaring mistakes and more questions and get defeated. You know what I mean? Like if we lost to USC, I don't know, let's say 24-27 with a last minute drive where Lincoln Riley does some masterful play calling or whatever and they win it at home, you know? I could live with that kind of loss. But to have all these, mishaps and mistakes, it
Yeah. My question is, how much more of
Ooh.
this incompetent coaching do we have to see until recruits start wondering, hey, is this a place for my development?
Mm.
Do they start looking elsewhere? It's not worth some of the NIL money that Joel Lynn is throwing around to come to Michigan because I don't know if Newsom can develop me. I don't know if Sharon Moore could be the guy for me. So, but the good news is we have more games that are winnable, that we can work on some of the things that, are that needs development and improvement. The next 5 games we play what Washington, Michigan State, Purdue, Maryland, Northwestern. Those 5 games we got opportunities to grow and to be better. And I hope that they make some adjustments because if not, ooh, it could get real ugly.
Wow,
Real.
wow. What, James Franklin level ugly? You think that if we lose to Northwestern, Sharon Moore might not be around more for more longer? I don't know. I don't know. These are the questions I have. It's horrible to watch though. The brand of football that we're putting out there is putrid. There's no other way to put it. It's putrid.
That second half was so bad.
Oh
It was
God.
just so bad.
This can what you okay. You remind me of just one little nugget here. The part that really hurt me, the specific part, was the first offensive series out of the halftime. So they get the ball
Yeah.
starting off the second half, and it's a three and out.
Yeah.
And if even a cynical guard your heart Wolverine fan is kind of waiting, what kind of spark? Because we've seen it where they came out of the half, what, a couple games ago against, I forget which game, but Justice breaks a home run when, for the most part,
Against OU, against Oklahoma.
maybe that was it. It was like, they're only running 2 or 3 yards, not a very good offensive line performance. But those long home runs just kind of disguise. It's smoke and mirrors. It gives us a semblance of a run game. It puts Justice Haynes in the Heisman conversation
Mm.
because he's ripping off 50 yarders. And it's like, hey, are we gonna get? Because Michigan's kind of sort of, you always suspect they're playing it close to the vest. They're saving it. They're saving it. Are they gonna rip off the home run play right here, right out of the chute? No, they lay the biggest goose egg at three and out, and it's just like, oh no, they really are just getting overrun. The tail of the tape on the lines, the trenches.
Yeah.
We done, folks. This game's over.
It
That
it,
was
it,
it.
it was a battle of field position at that point, and that three and out put us in a horrible field position. And SC went down and scored. They expanded that lead to double digits right after the half. Um,
You
yeah.
punted
I think
28
the other thing
yards.
is there's no player leadership on this team. So,
Oh,
there's been the Michael Barrett, right? There's been the Blake Corums, but
Sanders.
I don't know who I can look at on this team to say, hey, you know what? This is the guy that needs to pick up everybody else,
You
right?
want to know
On the
why?
sidelines,
Think who are the captains?
right?
Rattle them off. And these are now not even starters. TJ Guy. Who else? Like the fullback that's not even as good as he was last year. Breads is not playing as well as he was last. I'd say Breads was a better player last year. Who are our captains? They're not playing that great. We have like six captains. Do you know? I mean, Rod Moore's the captain.
yeah.
Injured most
Yeah.
of the. He's coming back. He's legit. If there's one captain that has the voice of the room and everyone listens to and respects, I'd put him up. But everyone else, our best player is 18. Two of them. This is our. I don't think we have the seniors leading the way. Gio, another one. Lost his. He's not a starter to me anymore.
Yeah.
Afobe might be better. That's another captain.
Mamma mia. Listen, wait. The team right now, who do you look for as the voice to kind of guide the team out of this funk? Because after a loss like that, you're gonna be a little funky. You know what I mean? There's gonna be some stank on you because you got slapped around so bad. You got pulled through the piles of garbage and you got thrown out with the trash and the old fish heads and whatnot. You stink. You stink. So who's gonna be the voice in that locker room to turn it around, especially with a very, very, in my mind, a very, very underrated Washington Husky team coming to town? Who's that voice in the locker room? I don't know. Is it Biff? Maybe it's Biff Pochi. I don't know.
I mean, but it begs to speak, like, why are we talking about veteran leadership and like leadership in the middle of the season when like it's still unknown who even would be there? Like it's this is the whole part where you go back to the what you're saying, the culture. Man, like, is it just like speak that Sharon is like, we're going back to our hardworking days? We're
Mm,
like, what have you been doing anyways? Like, why are you not hardworking from the beginning of the season? Why are we not seeing the hardworking progress that we should be seeing? How are you just bringing it up now? I'm gonna wear this automotive shirt on here and we're gonna get back to work. It's
I don't
I
know.
bring more questions, more and more questions.
I think for me, he's had too much sizzle, not enough steak. You know what I mean? It's been all sizzle. stuff like, oh yeah, the Michigan fans are the reason why it's going to be a sellout, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, we're going to go practice at the Chargers because, that's Michigan West. It's like all these sizzly kind of things. And I think that's part of the reason why he's such a good recruiter. Because let's be honest, he's been recruiting at a very high level, you know? But
Yeah.
eventually, if you hear that sizzle, if you're hungry for victory and you hear something sizzling, you expecting to see that nice juicy steak.
I want to know if Squarehead
Yes.
wants Harbaugh back. Squarehead, do you want Harbaugh back?
I said this since 2 years ago when Sharon Moore beat OSU when Harbaugh was, we love you, man, we love you. When Harbaugh was suspended, he started crying on TV with boogers coming down his nose. And I said, this guy is all talk. He's a fraud. And I've been saying that all along. But no, you guys, people on this panel are like, oh, I love that guy. That guy's got so much heart. I've said that this guy is a fraud for
We're
the
gonna have to check the
past
tapes.
2 years.
We're gonna have
And
to check
now
the
you
tapes.
guys are coming around and saying how much of a coach he's. Dude, this guy needs. As soon as he went for that 2-pointer, he should have just walked up and said, I quit. This guy needs to be fired tomorrow. Tomorrow. Now you guys are all coming around and saying this guy is a fraud. Come on, man. I feel so vindicated.
If
Feel
he
so
keeps us up,
vindicated.
if he keeps us up this season and next season, which is
Oh my gosh.
our
And next
season,
season?
because next season is supposed to be our season. Next season is like Bryce Underwood's sophomore year. We got our playmakers. Then he becomes the next Juwan Howard. You know,
Dude,
he's already feels a little like Juwan Howard to me. But Juwan Howard was all about, hey, I'm gonna be out to the campus giving out donuts. I'm gonna be fighting the Wisconsin coach, and get that out of my face. Don't effing touch me.
I missed those
This
games.
this is exactly what I'm talking about. The Michigan curse. You're willing to give him 6 more games this season and the entirety of next season before you're gonna say this guy needs to be fired? So you're telling me if we go 6-5 as I predicted, you're gonna give him a whole new season next year to see if he can turn this thing around?
I would give him one more season to work. Like, you know what? Harbaugh had to make some changes.
Yeah,
He had to
that's
get rid of Don Brown,
true.
right? He was loyal to him, but got rid of Don Brown. Made some changes internally, some tough changes. So I think Newsome, a guy he's loyal to, he's got to make some changes.
Oh.
Give him that opportunity. Let's see what he can do with Babaloa. The other 5-star, Isaiah, I forget what his name is. The other 5-star,
Haywood.
Haywood, right? Big dude. Let's see what he can do and give him an opportunity. But this season also, I mean, we got to see what he can do this season with the 5 games of, the opportunity is there for us to work on things over the 5 games to get to the OSU game. Hey, and if we work on those things and we get better and we beat OSU, we're at home. Hey, we're in the CFP conversation.
I was with you until. Can you stop saying that actually? Because I actually agree with almost everything, but you gotta stop putting that out there with the maybe we beat OSU. I can't handle that part, man. But I honestly was gonna say very, very similar stuff. I, if I'm honest, I can see a path for Sharon. I do have questions though, man. He has wobbled. He's not special. He is somewhat born on third base as the head coach that hasn't proven hardly anything. Okay, but he has a solid foundation and a future with those young pups. Savion was at the Wisconsin game. He's gonna be a stud. Bryce is gonna be a stud. I know you don't agree, but he's gonna be. But he's got an Achilles heel, man, and he cannot stick to his guns when it comes to Samaj and Grant Newsome and someone whose leash has gotten just a little bit longer, but is not still pretty short is Bellamy. Okay.
Oh, almost
That,
forgot.
you gotta keep gotta keep a just because Marsh is exploding these last two games. I know. I think most of Michigan Nation knows we can do better on the wide receiver front, in terms of coaching as well. So like Sharon gonna like tweak that up a little bit, end on a 9-3. Even if we do lose the game, I'm still hopeful. Please make it glorious, but don't count on it. And we can't keep mentioning teasing that out there because we can't count on anything. The most precarious game, by the way, is the next one.
Washington.
Yeah. The rest I'm good with, but that one, even though it's at home, that's a good team.
Yeah. 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 Well, look, we need to see improvement. Full, full stop. Just want to see improvement from now to the end of the year. What is this coaching staff going to come up with to improve the product on the field? Is Hillman still going to make some bonehead plays? Is he still going to make mistakes? Hopefully not. Is the offensive line going to be in shambles? Hopefully not. So it's the improvement that we need to see from the product on the field. Is Marlon Klein going to disappear for the rest of the year? Hopefully not. Speaking of, what has happened to Marlon Klein? We kind of touched on it before, but what has happened to him?
So just to wrap up this thing on Sharon Moore, I gotta say, I think we can all agree that he's not a head coach.
Oh, mamma
He's
mia.
not a head coach. He can't make decisions under pressure. He's not a head coach. Put him back as whatever coordinator, and hashtag bring back
What is it?
You
What?
didn't hear it. You screamed too loud.
hashtag bring back Harbaugh. Come on.
Oh, finally he answers the question. He wants Harbaugh over Moore.
This guy, what a psycho. An absolute psycho.
Anyways, are we doing any preview of Washington? I mean,
We have to do a prediction right now. Let's go to the prediction board. First, I'll go. I think this Washington team, like I said, is underrated. I think they're going to put some points on the board, and it's going to come down to um, whether our offense can keep up with them or not. I'm going to say Washington 27, Michigan 31. Put it in the books. Bryson Company, get it done.
That's how low we could go. Big Reg ekes out a 4-point victory for Michigan at home. Wow.
Washington's a good squad.
I
I'm
know.
telling you, Washington is a very, very underrated squad. What's their record? Like 4-1, 3-1? They only had the one loss. Come on, they're a good team.
Wow.
I wish I could say that we would have much better progress from week to week. I am
He's not convinced.
disillusioned. I am fatigued. I have more questions. Washington 35, Michigan 21.
You're saying they're gonna get boat raced at home, huh? Wow.
I think we're gonna get boat raced.
I think there's a players meeting happening, players only meeting happening this week. I think they're going to come out fired up back at home. Everyone's puking on them right now. I think Sharon is finally going to get them revved up for this game. I think our front seven finally shows up, applies pressure. Michigan 34. Wash U 17.
Ooh.
Couple up.
There you go. That's a nice sizzly little score there. Holy smokes.
Oh, I swear that I had the exact same score in mind as Big Reg, 31, 27. The line is 5. I don't think they cover. This is predicated on Justice being somewhat involved in this game. It's kind of questionable as to what his availability will be. I feel like, despite the fact that this team is much celebrated for having three of the most dynamic players on offense, their QB, running back, and wide receiver they're going to put on a show and they're going to get points. But we have the overall better squad and talent. And this is a game, as I mentioned earlier, where we can exert most of our physical I mean, we have like a 20, 30-pound weight advantage, I'm pretty sure. And those are the teams we can lean on. We're not god awful. We just can't compete with some of the better teams, and especially if it's on the road, because almost all these road games in the Big Ten or the SEC and they're tough. I mean, so you have to be a really, really put together team and execute if you're going to pull off those kind of wins.
True.
But we're back home. We're playing in the 1 o'clock slot. None of this West Coast travel malaise playing at 7, which is really 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I agree with JC. I agree especially with Big Reg on the score. I think it's going to be in the 31-27 range.
There you go. I like it.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm going to say that Sharon Moore calls in sick. He will not be at this game because he will not be able to show his face because he is going to try and go for 2 again. And I'm going to say that Michigan is going to lose. I'm going to say Bryce Underwood is going to throw 2 picks and get sacked 4 times. Washington, 28. Michigan, 11.
Wow, 11.
Why? Because Sharon Moore is going to go for 2 on one of
Go for 2. Come on, go for 2.
Oh my God.
this guy, get out of here, man. Get out of here with that nonsense. This guy's talking crazy. 28-11.
Field goal,
Oh,
a touchdown, and a 2-pointer. There you go.
conversion. It's just crazy. It's crazy talk.
We do have to give last minute shout outs to the last video that we posted, which was back in Oklahoma.
Listen, I've been traveling. I don't know what to tell you.
Eric Rowe, always a fan favorite, saying this writing after the Nebraska game because we didn't even have a Nebraska video.
Holy
Don't forget to come back to Big Regis scoffing at Underwood rushing for 25 yards. Also tell all the freeloaders, scalawags, and secret from the Shadow of the Big House fans to like, subscribe, and comment.
There you go. That's all we're asking.
You have more questions? Put them in the chat. And obviously, OK_Andy, producer Jay Bizzle, got to grab them haboobs and AZ. Oh, God, come on.
Haboobs! Haboobs, baby, haboobs.
Desert heat check. Holy smokes. How's that going? Ka-chow.
It's been monsoon, baby. It's been monsoon.
Monsoon. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Torrential downpour of love. Ooh. No? No downpour of love? Holy smokes. Oh, well. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. It's dry times in the desert, I guess. Anywho, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always. Raise my glass. The only good thing to come out of this week is I was able to secure tickets to the Twice concert coming up next year. I'll be going to that. If you're interested in getting tickets, they're on sale now. Go to Ticketmaster.com. Twice. They're coming to your area. Oh, almost forgot to say. We raise our glass to this team, Team 146. They are 146, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Team 146. Come on, man. Get it together, guys.
Get it together.
Get it together. Jeez. Go blue.
Compete. Go blue.
Go blue.
Compete. That's all that's the standard that we're setting now. It's not even win anymore. Just compete. Holy smokes. Oh yeah. Oh.
Could lose, and it could be bad.
This guy.
Did the recording stop?
No, he's grumbling that during the recording. Holy smokes.
Recording still happening.
Just pew.
Recording's over.
What?